Samsung just had their Unpacked event and it was kind of crazy to see what they had to offer. And a lot of people are wondering, what does Apple's response look like? So we're going to be going over a couple of the rumors and things that are expected to be launched this March from Apple.
So they usually have about 4 events every single year, and their most recent one, or the upcoming one, is in March, scheduled for March 25th at the Steve Jobs Theater at Apple Park campus.
Now, usually the first announcement that they have, or the first event they have, is focused on teaching and learning and more about the future of who's going to be using their products and sort of ease of use. That's sort of the focus.
So this year, I don't think that the theme will be education and creativity. I actually think the theme will be towards music and video streaming. Because there are a bunch of rumors about what is going to be released or unveiled at the event. Some of the rumors include Apple's long-awaited video streaming service.
Yes.
This will hopefully compete with video streaming services like Netflix and Hulu.
It's going to be something similar to what they did with Apple Music. I mean, iTunes sells everything. Every single music song out there, every single movie out there can be sold on Apple, and I'm pretty sure they're going to be offering a monthly subscription to stream those videos.
Yeah, it's kind of, it makes sense for them to do that.
Yeah, no, it really does. It's the exact same thing that they did with Apple Music. Now that isn't as successful. Spotify sort of took over because of its
But it's still growing.
ease of use. Yeah, Apple Music is growing. There's more enticement to do it.
Some other rumors that Apple might unveil, or we hope they will unveil at their event, is a mini Apple TV, which will go with the TV or video streaming service.
The mini Apple TV is supposed to be a direct competitor against Google's Chromecast, which has sort of been unthreatened. There's been no response to the Chromecast.
Another rumor that Apple may unveil is a new HomePod or a new HomePod mini. Now, since Apple released the HomePod, it hasn't gained too much traction.
So the biggest problem with the initial HomePod is that they focused heavily on the sound quality, which sort of jacked up the price.
A lot.
So it was $350, which is expensive for a speaker.
But knowing Apple, their products are usually pretty high priced.
Yes.
But if it gets to a certain point, not too many people buy them. So this is why we think that the HomePod mini could combat that. And it is also rumored that the HomePod mini could have a Beats theme to it.
Yeah, so they're gonna go with their partner Beats, and they're going to be relying on their sound technology to make the speaker, and then just have their own Siri and chips inside of it.
And I think they may go with Beats just because it will add to the market share of the, I don't want to say lower class speakers, but the cheaper class in a sense. Not the high end, kind of like the middle class.
They have very bold colors, so maybe we're gonna be getting some rainbow HomePod minis. That'd be kind of cool.
Another rumor is that Apple will be unveiling their AirPods 2. Some of the upgrades include a new color, which being matte black.
Yes.
Bluetooth upgrades, and potential for wireless charging support.
Ooh, right, the new case.
Yeah.
That's supposed to work with the charge pad that Apple was supposed to unveil last year.
But didn't. So that is another rumor that we are hopefully anticipating. That was called Air Power. It was a little bit embarrassing that Apple didn't deliver this wireless charging pad because I don't think, I'm not an expert, but I don't think it would be that hard to create, especially when other companies have been out with it for a very long time.
Another thing with the AirPods 2 is they're supposed to have noise cancellation, noise isolation.
We read something like that, but
Yeah.
I think if they stick with the current design, which I think they will, they won't change much of the physical design. That will be very difficult to do. It is rumored that Apple will be releasing an SE2, which will be a smaller, cheaper handset. It's also rumored to have a 4-inch display and have iPhone 7 processing power. So it's not going to be very high end, but it'll be the cheaper alternative if you don't want to spend that much money.
Yeah, that's to compete against Huawei or Huawei,
Huawei.
which is now the number 3 market shareholder in all of mobile phones. The iPad mini is supposed to be getting refreshed and updated for March, which is sort of nice. I mean, the iPad mini is a nice alternative. You know, it's a small tablet, it's comfortable, you can hold it. It's like a Kindle.
And they haven't made an upgrade since the iPad mini 4, which was about 3 years ago. So they are definitely due for an update in that area. Another update that we can expect is with the MacBook, which was not updated in 2018. So we are hoping that they will have a new design like we saw with the MacBook Air for the MacBook.
Now, the MacBook isn't like the MacBook Pro. This is the super thin one. It has a 12-inch display, super small. It was the first ever USB-C only laptop ever. And a lot of people were upset about that.
I didn't like it. Well, I didn't get it, but I wouldn't buy it for that reason. And finally, we are expecting an update to the iMac, which was not updated in 2018, but since there's a new Intel chip, we can expect that the new iMac will have a lot more cores and much more processing power.
Yeah, the last one was rocking an Intel i7, but now there's the i9 out. There's also 8 cores, 12 cores, rumored to be added to this iMac for daily use drivers.
So these are some of the rumors that we hope that Apple will unveil at their March event. Maybe they don't. If they don't unveil it at this event, maybe sometime in 2019.
Hopefully.
But I feel like Apple's kind of falling behind because they're always catching up now. Whereas before, they were the ones that were at the forefront of technology.
Now, we did see that Apple fell from 1st to 17th place of most innovative technology company in 2018, which is alarming.
It's a little embarrassing.
That's a bit.
Because Apple used to be known as they were the best innovative company. They knew, they would come up with things that companies wouldn't even have thought of, and then companies like Samsung would be racing to catch up to them, but then Apple was already a step ahead. Now, the tables have kind of turned. Now, Apple's kind of catching up, where you can see with the AirPods or tablets. Now, Samsung released a foldable phone, a 5G compatible phone. So they're kind of falling behind. So Apple really needs to step up their game.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Well, hopefully you guys enjoyed this rumor roundup. If you guys did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments below if you want us to see us check out anything.
And of course, subscribe if you're new.